Now, excitement for the Olympic Games is rising here in France, and as are prices. Solange Mougin with me here in the studio to talk to us about these price hikes at major tourist attractions, and particularly, Solange, the Eiffel Tower, because tickets to go to the very top of that are now more expensive as of today, I think. So what's going on? Is the monument in financial trouble?
Well, the Dame de Fer, as we say in French, or France's Iron Lady, is doing just fine. But keeping her in tip-top shape, well, it is expensive. So the company that runs the Eiffel Tower decided, as of June 17th, to raise ticket prices by 20%, from 29 euros to 35 euros per person. That's if you want to take it all the way to the top with the elevator. You can also use the stairs to the second floor, but those ticket prices, well, they are also a bit more expensive than they were before. They're now 14 euros. Now, such price hikes are not likely to dissuade visitors. They're similar to other major tourist attractions across the globe. And La Tour Eiffel, as we say in French, remains one of the top 10 most visited monuments in the world.
It was a gift for our son because he's so excited about the Eiffel Tower.
He is so high.
It represents France.
It's our first vacation abroad.
It's great to take photos from up here.
I'm a Parisian, but it's nice to see tourists in Paris.
Now, the company that runs it says that they need the extra money for a number of reasons. First, they say they're still in the red or still struggling to wipe out the hole that was created by the COVID pandemic. The city of Paris, which owns 99% of this management company, it says that between 2020 and 2021, some 113 million euros that was planned on, well, it didn't materialize because of a drop in tourism. Now, on top of this, there are also royalties that the company pays to the city, even if that too has been lowered. But above all, the Eiffel Tower is in the midst of a major renovation. It's being repainted in a slightly more golden-ish color. But this multi-year repainting of the Eiffel Tower, well, it's actually not its first. It's the 20th paint job that it's gone through. Gustave Eiffel actually left instructions saying that every 7 years, his masterpiece needed a new coat of paint to avoid rust and corrosion. And earlier this year, there was a lot of criticism that the necessary work had been pushed off for too long. The company denies this, saying that they're doing something exceptional and necessary with this paint job. They're removing older layers of paint and stripping the 135-year-old Iron Lady to her bare bones, progressively, of course. Now, some of that paint, though, had lead in it, and that has ballooned costs of this paint job. So the higher prices, well, they will help finance that, as well as the some 350 employees that run the site and allow for 7 million visitors to visit it every year.
That said, though, Solange, 35 euros remains a lot of money to go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. So are there any cheaper alternatives?
There are many cheaper alternatives. First, the Eiffel Tower, if it really is on your bucket list, well, walking around it is still free. Seeing it from across the Seine or from the Champ de Mars is also free. If you're looking for a panoramic view from above of Paris's skyline from above, there's the Sacré-Cœur, it's a hill in Montmartre. Sitting on the steps and even going into the Basilica of the Sacré-Cœur is free. There's also a really wonderful view from the Arc de Triomphe. It's less expensive than the Eiffel Tower and often less crowded as well. And it gives you a good sense of how Haussmann redesigned the city and made it as we know today. Now, when it comes to seeking out other plan Bs, many of Paris's other top spots also have cheaper alternatives. The Louvre, for example, has raised its ticket prices by nearly 30% this year. And it is also crowded with nearly 9 million visitors last year. So instead, you can seek out any one of Paris's other museums, and there are a lot of them. There are over 130 of them. Many of them are free. For example, Victor Hugo's house, the History of Paris Museum, the Beaux-Arts permanent collection. The same thing goes for chateaus. While nothing beats Versailles, you can also try out the Chateau de Vincennes or even Fontainebleau for a bit of history and a stroll in the woods.
Okay, lots of options, Solange. What about outside of Paris altogether?
Well, the French government says that 80% of the nation's tourism is in just 20% of the country. And it's actually monitoring all of this to see the effects of mass tourism on the environment, on local communities, on pocketbooks. But here, too, if with a little bit of digging, there are also lots of alternatives. In Normandy, for example, instead of being 1 in 10,000 per day that go to Étretat, there are alternatives like Fécamp, Le Havre, Granville. Same with the Calanques near Marseille. There are equally beautiful creeks to the west of the city on the Côte Bleue. If you want to go to the mountains, rather than the Mont Blanc, there's also the rest of the Alps or the Pyrenees or even the Massif Central. Needless to say, when it comes to travel, going off the beaten path is often cheaper and, in my view, a lot more interesting.
Oh, I quite agree with you, Solange. Thanks very much indeed. Solange Mougin for us there.